Hey guys, my name is Batimio, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the crossbow in Battlefield 3, and more specifically the standard bolt that comes with it. Initially, at first, I thought that this weapon was either going to be just completely, blatantly overpowered, or it was going to be useless. I didn't really think there was going to be much middle ground here, but I have to give it to DICE, because they seem to have managed to balance it very well, and after getting a couple hundred kills with it, it's quickly become one of the most satisfying weapons in my arsenal. I love this weapon, and so I'm going to go into some details as to why I think this suits certain classes very well, especially the recon class, why you might want to use it or how you should use it correctly, and kind of give you guys the stats on it. So at first I thought the normal bolt was going to resemble something like the bolt action rifles in the game, where if you wanted to get a one-shot kill up close, it would require you to get an upper chest or a headshot to do so, but that's not the case, because the normal bolt actually has an extremely high damage model. It's going to do 100 damage up close, or about to 20 meters out, and then after that it's going to drop down to around, or actually 60 damage a shot at 50 meters, which is its minimum damage. And really what this means for you is, as long as you're able to get a headshot with it, it's going to be a one-shot kill. But that's not really how you're going to want to use this weapon. I mean, sure, getting a headshot is always nice, but you're going to want to play it in the close range, and that's due in part for a couple of reasons. And the first reason being, as I mentioned, it does 100 damage a shot within 20 meters, and that's a one-shot kill, or potentially two, or maybe even three. I've never gotten a 3 or 3-in-1. I've definitely gotten a couple collaterals with it, but if you are up close, it's going to be a one-shot kill, which is its main strength. The other reason being is that it has a very slow velocity. Its velocity is 100 meters per second, and that is extremely slow. And really what this means for you is that if you do try to line up one of those long-range shots, it's going to have a very, very high bullet drop, and trying to kind of accommodate for the travel speed is going to be extremely challenging. So if you do see someone off in the distance, I would not recommend going for the target if they are moving, and even if they're standing still, when I was using the standard bolt, I would more often than not just completely ignore them and try to close the gap on them, because trying to line up that shot is going to just be stupid hard. So another pretty substantial disadvantage of this weapon is that it does have a lengthy reload time. It's going to take you 4.7 seconds to go through the entire animation, and if you're getting into a tight situation where you're not able to get a collateral on a couple of the enemies that are nearby, which is usually not the case, you're going to need to switch on over to your secondary or your primary weapon to, finish the job. And, this is really where the weapon kind of is meant to not really be a primary weapon. While it's a lot of fun, and that's basically what I was doing in today's video, it's really meant to kind of complement your loadout and to give you more options available to you. And I really like to use this when I'm playing as a recon and I'm using the bolt action rifles, because as I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to play aggressively with a recon and you are using a bolt action, it can be very difficult for you to get the one-shot one kill when you get into a close encounter engagement. But if you switch on over to the standard bolt or your crossbow, when you're going to be into those tight spots, getting that one-shot kill is a lot easier. And really what it comes down to is you just have a lot more firepower in your arsenal when you are playing a recon with the crossbow out. I mean, if you see someone off in the distance, switch on over to your primary bolt action, take them out with a nice headshot. You get into a tight spot where you need to switch on over to your crossbow to take out a close encounter target. You can do so. There's multiple enemies, switch on over your pistol. I mean, you have a lot more options available to you when you are playing with this loadout for the recon. It's one of the main reasons why I like it so much. And so another great aspect of it is that it's extremely stealthy. If you want to take an objective in a stealthy manner, this is one of the best tools in your arsenal. It doesn't really make any sound, it keeps you off the minimap, and if you know that there are a couple targets on the objective that you're trying to capture, if you don't want to notify the entire team you're there, you can use the crossbow, take out one or two of them, and then when the enemy team finally realizes that their allies are dying and they kind of search you out, you can switch on over to your primary and and finish the job. And when you're able to pull that off, kind of that stealthy tactic, it's amazing. And one of the reasons why I like this is if you are playing as an assault class, but you don't want, and you kind of want to be stealthy, but you don't want to have the negative aspects of the silencer or the suppressor in the game, the crossbow is a fantastic substitute. As I mentioned, you can take out a couple of targets stealthily. When they do know you're there, then finish them off with your M416 or whatever primary you have at the time. And that's something you cannot do with any other setup. So overall, if you couldn't tell, I absolutely love the crossbow in Battlefield 3. It gives you way more options when you're playing as the recon, and even other classes as well. If you want to play that stealthy role, you want to get those really satisfying one-shot kills, I highly recommend you try out and get better with the normal bolt. But yeah, that's about it for today's review. I would love to know what you think about the crossbow. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Let me know down below. But if you guys enjoyed today's video or just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, share this with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.